Hey everybody, Connie Whitlock, and I'm here to give you the Monday night recap for the council meeting. I'm going to start with the little stuff and then we'll get to the UDC, right? So first up, the special events application, homecoming fireworks. So the Booster Club wants to do fireworks again at the football field. You know, in the last couple of years, you might have heard them if you've lived around there during the football games, because sometimes you can hear the crowd at the football games too. It's kind of exciting and see the lights, but they are going to do fireworks again. So you might want to look up the games if you're around and you have a dog or something like that. And so you can kind of do for your fur baby what you need to do to keep him from being scared. So next up would be safe rooms, building code amendment. I'm just going to read this. Staff introduced a proposed amendment to Chapter 5227 of the Building Code regarding storm shelters. Under the 2018 International Building Code, additions to schools, churches, and daycares, Group E occupancies require full FEMA-rated shelters, which can dramatically increase costs. The amendment would exempt additions of less than 25% of the building's square footage from the storm shelter requirement. The proposal will be posted for a 90-day public review at City Hall and on the city website before returning to council consideration. So if you are wanting to build a big building, a church, I don't even know if this includes the price chopper or not, but you might want to look into it. You might want to chase that one. The mayor mentioned that this was the last council meeting that Shelby Tufel was going to attend. And now she is going to go on to other things, and Nikki Wilson will be taking over until they figure out I don't know what the next thing is. Do they post the job? I don't know. I don't know if Nikki's taking it as interim. We'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on that one. The mayor also was telling people, can somebody call MoDOT and see what's happening on 7? He said he was seeing the workers working on other projects and not our project, and he's tired of the cones. So if you're tired of the cones, well, there you go. I can understand that because construction is kind of hairy and, it's hard to get around. November 7th, there will be a veterans outreach at the Memorial Building. So if you are interested in that, one thing that I noticed at the meeting, they said that Pleasant Hill has the third largest veterans population in the state of Missouri. So I didn't know that. Did you know that? I didn't know that. So if you're interested in that particular event, you can contact the VA or you can contact the police. They're the ones that announced it. Oh, let's see if there's anything else. I can't think of anything else they really mentioned that was small. The big thing is the UDC. So let's talk about the UDC. I did attend. My husband attended with me and sat through it. It was a nail biter. It was interesting. It is one of the largest overhauls of our planning and zoning in years. So this will affect us. It kind of brings us up to modern times. Kansas City, I believe there's somebody from Kansas City who consulted us. We were also compared to like Raymore, Lee Summit, things like that. They're stricter, they're modern, they're slicker, they're easier to find out what the rules are. I think that that's what they were after. I did hear another leader say, a former leader basically said that they probably shouldn't have passed the one in 2018. It probably wasn't a good thing to pass. There were 3 people at the meeting that spoke up, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I just want to tell you this first. The city had it for 3 years. They've been working on it for 3 years. And in the last 6 months, planning and zoning have been going line by line and finishing it up. A week ago, city council got it, and I most of them read it, I believe. Pat Niner had mentioned that she read like 161 pages. So if you can imagine the boring read that a planning and zoning code must be, and that's a lot of pages. And I don't even know how much you could take from it if you didn't have more than a few days to read it. The public concerns, and there are some people in the public that did read it. One of the concerns is that they didn't have very much time to read it. at least the final draft. So they were concerned that the public didn't have enough time to evaluate it, ask questions, and they didn't feel like the city allowed the public to have a voice. Somebody else had mentioned some legal things. There's a place in the UDC where the city administrator appoints a director over the UDC projects, I guess. I'm not sure how that works, but she was concerned that it went against the charter because the council is who appoints all the leadership. She was also concerned that it went against state statutes for parks. The parks, I guess, had their own funding, and this shifts the funding. It does shift power. It shifts a lot of power to the preservation as well. The was it historic preservation downtown. So if you own a building downtown and you're planning on doing something with it, changing something, it might be a little bit stricter. And or you might find that it's easy if you follow all of the new rules. So you can find out the new rules by either reading the whole thing or finding where it is. You could probably ask Missy Gentry at City Hall, and I'm sure she would be glad to answer your questions. And there's some in this article on PHMOmag. If you want to kind of sift through the article, it might hit some points that you have questions about, at least. So then, after everybody kind of spoke, and I think there was one more. There was one more. One more issue was that they felt like it was going to make things more expensive, and so first-time housing is going to be difficult in Pleasant Hill. Now, I'm thinking that's going to be difficult anywhere. I know my daughter is looking for a first-time home, and it's difficult anywhere because you have all these companies coming in, buying up houses, first-time homes, and renting them out. So that has been an issue. New builds is going to be very expensive. So I don't know. Well, I don't know how that's all going to work. I think that there's way more to it than just the UDC, but the UDC does up the rules and regulations on new builds, so that's going to make it a little bit more expensive. Their argument is that you're not making it any easier with all of these other issues coming into our culture. Pat Niner responded with basically saying, hey, well, maybe we should have a town hall, hear everybody out. After hearing these concerns, maybe I should be concerned too.
And I came here tonight with the assumption that I was going to vote yes and pass it. But I will tell you that after hearing some concerns, I'm wondering if we shouldn't have a town hall. I mean, to give the community more of an opportunity to answer some questions or have their questions answered.
Then the mayor pushed back, and the mayor said, look, we had this for 3 years. They worked on it for 6 months. We have boards and commissions for a reason. And he felt really good with what they had. He read the whole thing. I'm good with it. So I'm going to vote yes. And I think he thought that everybody else should too.
I will just say and I'm not saying to throw you under the bus, but to quote you, Councilman Newberry.
Oh. Yes.
We have boards and commissions to do that kind of legwork for us.
Yes.
And that we should, as best we can, follow what they are recommending to us.
Yes.
They have done their due diligence. I know I have read through it. I'm going to tell you, there's probably things that at some point a lawyer is going to challenge and will probably be changed. Things are going to come up that are going to have to be changed. But you can never, at the end of the day, have any foolproof code. I am more than happy with this. We have dealt with a lot of the questions that I've had over time as far as park boards and different boards and commissions and stuff like that. And I mean, we can have a town hall, and if 12 people show up and there's 12 changes, it all goes back for approval stuff again.
So Pat Niner basically said, okay, I will vote yes then. Then Jackie Emo voted yes, Doomer voted no, and Newberry voted no. And the mayor broke the tie and said yes. So this bill was passed on Monday night, and bottom line, you have a new code, and it's a lot heftier than the one that we had before. One of the things I can say about this code that I personally like better is that it is clearer. You can look through it and say, I can do this, I can't do this, I can do this, I can't do this. And it gives the boards a lot clearer of, it's kind of a clear feedback to who's coming and wanting what, and they can say yeah, no, 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 yes, 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 which that has been difficult in the past. Anyway, I'd like to know your opinion. Kind of post it below. I'd like to hear what you have to say, especially the ones that haven't said anything yet. I mean, we've kind of heard from the same people over and over. Let's hear from somebody new. How does this affect you? How do you think it's going to affect Pleasant Hill? Do you think that there should be any tweaks or changes? Do you think we should be like Kansas City? Or do you think we should go back to a simpler code? I'm curious about what you think. This is Connie Whitlock with PHMOmag. I hope you have a good weekend.